FLY&RIDE's 3,000-mile overall impressions and review of this suspension is, again, unequivocally All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. FLY&RIDE here. That is FLY&RIDE Senior. Say hi. Today is Sunday, Father's Day. To all of the fathers out there, happy Father's Day. Obviously, I am absolutely blessed that my dad is still here with me. If you've been watching the channel, I usually do a video with him on Father's Day riding our bikes. He is going to be riding the 2024 Ducati Pikes Peak. I've got the Harley, and we're just going to go out and enjoy an awesome ride. But on this video, I'm going to do a 3,000-mile review on the Wilbers suspension that I got installed on my 2020 Streetlight CVO. I've had it for over 3,000 miles, and I figured today on Father's Day, as I'm here with my dad, he's going to enjoy this bike, I talk about what I think about the suspension, and I answer the question, is it better than the competition? And of course, to all of the fathers out there, happy Father's Day to everybody, all the father figures, important roles we all play in the lives of raising our youth and obviously supporting families and being there for each other. So special thanks to all the fathers out there. I'm going to give you a nice cold start. This is now the full Akrapovic exhaust on this Pikes Peak, and it sounds freaking amazing. Oh. That sounds absolutely awesome. Let me just bring it up here. So let me show you this real quick. I took the fender off here because I had a dent on it from something that fell, and of course Mr. FLY&RIDE Senior specializes in all types of body works. He's got over 40 years experience. We took it off. I'm going to show you that video here real quick of what we did. It is just absolutely awesome that he knows all these little tricks to do all this stuff, and it required absolutely nothing major, really some ingenuity and some basic skills, of course, that he has, I don't. So I wanted to show you that here right now. So let me show you what we're doing here. You see this right there, that space there? We're going to lay the fender right over it. This is regular electrical tape. And then we've marked the spot right there where the dent is. And now we're just going to hammer that in and pop that out. And that extra space there, or that hole in the middle there, was what allows us to pop it out so it doesn't damage the fender on the other side, and it allows it to move. Brand new. Circle marks the spot. That's just old school ingenuity right there. Pretty cool, right, that we were able to do that. Now, if I would have taken that anywhere else, probably would have cost, I don't know, $600, $500. And Mr. FLY&RIDE Senior took care of me. So thanks, Dad, I appreciate it. All right, so I left the fender off. I've got the 360 back there. I'm going to show you, how the bike dives with this suspension while I talk about, again, my overall review, and I enjoy a nice Father's Day ride with FLY&RIDE Senior. Let's roll. All right, so look, I'm going to start with really my overall impressions on this Wilbers full suspension, and I went with the full suspension. And special thanks to Stefan once again. I'm going to show you that video here of the full install. He did it here in the FLY&RIDE garage, and just absolutely awesome guy. Really appreciate you, Stefan. And of course, the bike came out awesome. So here I am, 3,000 miles later, give or take, giving you my overall impressions. And that is, hands down, unequivocally, the absolute best suspension I have ever felt on any Harley. And I just rode the 2024s with Mr. Holy Shift in the canyons in LA. I've ridden the elites. I've ridden the ultra-rides, obviously. I rode this one with stock suspension. I had Legends, both front and rear, on this bike before I switched to the Wilbers suspension, and I rode it a lot of miles. So this is an informed and practical overall impression here and review of these Wilbers suspension, and I'm telling you, there's just nothing like it out there in the market. Now look, I'm not going to go into all of the technical specs. There's a lot of great videos. Make sure you go check them out. Stefan has a great channel. He's done lots of these installs and goes to the full sort of science and physics behind the technology here. This video won't be that, but I'm going to sort of break down what I think are, in my view, the key differentiators between not only stock but also the competition. So number one, which is in and of itself, I think, a game changer. The fact that this has an auto leveling technology, not only for me as the rider, and by the way, it is very specific. They ask you for all of your measurements, everything, the weight, what you're going to have on the bike, all of the details, and it comes already with all of those specifics built into your suspension. And then you can add a passenger and the thing automatically levels. No adjustment, nothing needed. And it is an absolute plush ride with or without the passenger. Look, that in and of itself, to me, no other suspension does that without having to manually adjust it. And in my view, certainly at least in my case, and I had the Legends before in stock, it's just dramatically better in terms of comfort and overall feel. Number two, and I think this is a really important point, because, you know, am I sacrificing sort of handling for comfort with the Wilbers suspension? And again, in my humble opinion, I think absolutely not. The best way I could describe it is, this thing is stiff enough when you want it, and, you know, absolutely plush and comfortable when you need it. That's the best way I could describe it to you. I did not feel any sacrifice in terms of the handling and my capability, you know, riding this bike. So that's the second point that I would give you. The third point, which I really like, I've been riding this bike for 3,000 miles or plus with this new suspension, and it still feels like the day I installed it. It is just spot on. It is consistent. It is reliable. It is predictable. It is all of the things that I think you want in an overall suspension for any Harley touring bike, in my view. So the last point, and I would say that this point is the only constructive point of view that I have regarding the suspension, and it is me really being very, very critical, because I like it just the way that it is. But for those of you that are here sort of watching this video and comparing it to a Legends like or anything else that's out there aftermarket, the one thing that I noticed only in the front compared to, you know, again, a really only an aftermarket, is that the Legend suspension was a bit stiffer in the front and had a little bit less of a dive when I slam on the front brakes. So again, it depends really what you're looking for. I am looking for that perfect balance for me. Are the Legends a little bit stiffer? Yeah, I think that they are in the front, and frankly, I'm not sure that that gives you anything more. Perhaps if you're really like taking this thing to the track, which I'm not, or being really aggressive, there may be a benefit there. But for what I ride every day, and I ride these bikes pretty aggressively, I'm telling you, this thing is spot on. So that's really the only point that I wanted to make. Again, for all of you that are using it as a point of comparison to these aftermarket suspension, of course, compared to stock, it's not even worth mentioning. It is just 1,000% better than anything stock has to offer. So FLY&RIDE's 3,000 mile overall impressions and review of this suspension is, again, unequivocally the best suspension for these Harleys and for these baggers. Absolutely recommended. Hands down, I do not think you will find a better suspension out there. So that's it. There you have it. Hopefully you find that helpful. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to enjoy some of these nice twisties that are coming up here, and then I'm going to switch to the 360, which is behind the Ducati that my dad is riding. We're going to switch positions here in a second. And then I want to show you, the suspension working at different speeds, so you can see when I hit the brakes what the dive is like, and hopefully, it gives you a different lens and a different perspective if you're considering, upgrading to this Wilbers suspension. So enjoy the different views. What's up, bro?
I know that bike.
What's going on, man?
Brother?
It's my dad.
That's your dad?
Yeah.
No way.
He's riding the Ducati.
I see that.
How you been, brother?
That's it. We're good, man.
Happy Father's Day, man.
You too.
Thanks, brother.
You actually.
Be good, man. That's my buddy TJ. Just happened to run into him. He's got a nice Road King. So hopefully you enjoyed some of those angles back there, taking some of those twisties and seeing at least how that front suspension is moving. I kept the fender off so you could have much better visibility to how it performs there in the front. Absolutely beautiful Sunday, man. I'm just so happy that my dad is here, that I get the chance to enjoy yet another Father's Day with him alongside. I am just absolutely blessed, and I appreciate every second I get with him and Mom. Doesn't get any better than this. FLY&RIDE Senior absolutely loves that bike. He said it's his favorite bike out of all of the 3 bikes. I'm not surprised, obviously. So look, hopefully you're enjoying this kind of content. This is the kind of content that we bring you here on the FLY&RIDE channel. reviews, product upgrades, different bikes, all things here on the channel. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification. Wow. Oh man, that thing boogies. Could hear the bike from here. It sounds freaking awesome with that full Akrapovic exhaust system. Alright, so look, that's going to do it for this video. Do me a favor, if you like this kind of content, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell notification so you can be reminded of future content like this one. Thanks for watching.